Somebody get her out right now.
Vanessa's voice exploded across the ballroom before the minister could even finish welcoming the guests. The violinist stopped playing. Conversations died instantly. Every head turned toward the entrance. Loretta Brooks stood frozen, clutching a neatly wrapped gift in one hand and an old Bible in the other. Her lavender church dress had been carefully ironed that morning, but after spending 2 hours riding buses across Atlanta, the wrinkles had returned. She smiled nervously, unaware of why everyone was staring at her. "I'm sorry, baby," she said softly. "The first bus broke down. I hurried as fast as these old legs could carry me." Vanessa looked her up and down with disgust. "Oh no, absolutely not." Marcus frowned. "Vanessa." She ignored him. "Who invited her?" Loretta's smile faded. I'm Marcus, Mama." The room erupted into whispers. Vanessa laughed, but there wasn't a trace of humor in it. "You're telling me this is your mother?" Marcus walked toward Loretta. "Yeah, that's my mother." Vanessa grabbed his arm. "You never showed me pictures." "I never thought I had to." She lowered her voice. "You couldn't tell her to wear something nicer?" Marcus slowly pulled his arm away. "What did you just say?" Vanessa folded her arms. "You heard me." Loretta took a small step backward. "It's all right. I don't want any trouble." Marcus shook his head. "No, Mama." Vanessa pointed toward the ballroom doors. "This is a luxury wedding. My father's business partners are here. City officials are here. Reporters are here." She looked at Loretta again. "She doesn't fit." The words landed like a slap. Loretta lowered her eyes. She had heard comments like that before, just never from someone who was about to become family. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'll leave." Marcus quickly grabbed her hand. "No." She smiled sadly. "Baby, today ain't about me." "It is now." Vanessa rolled her eyes. "Oh my goodness." She snapped her fingers toward security. "Escort her outside." Neither guard moved. Marcus looked directly at them. "Don't y'all touch my mother." One guard cleared his throat. "Sir, we're just following instructions." "My instruction is don't touch her." Guests shifted awkwardly in their seats. An older woman whispered to her husband, "This doesn't feel right." Another guest quietly took out his phone, recording everything. Harold Carter, Vanessa's father, finally stepped forward. He adjusted his expensive suit before speaking. "Marcus." "Yes, sir?" "I think we're letting emotions get in the way." Marcus laughed bitterly. "My mother's being thrown out of my wedding. You have to understand appearances." Marcus stared at him. "Appearances?" Harold nodded. "Our family has a reputation." Loretta interrupted gently. "It's all right." She looked at Marcus. "Don't argue." Marcus turned toward her. "Mama." She smiled. "You've waited a long time for this day. I can watch online later." His eyes filled with tears. "No." Vanessa sighed loudly. "Marcus, why are you making this difficult?" He slowly faced her. "I'm making it difficult?" She crossed her arms. "You know exactly what I mean." "No, I don't." She pointed at Loretta. "Look at her." The ballroom became painfully quiet. Marcus' voice became calm. "I am looking. I see the woman who worked 2 jobs. I see the woman who skipped meals so I could eat. I see the woman who cleaned offices at night after cooking in a school cafeteria all day." Loretta quietly shook her head. "Baby." "No," he continued. "I see the woman who sold her wedding ring so I could pay college tuition." Several guests exchanged uncomfortable glances. Marcus wasn't finished. "When I wanted to quit engineering school because I couldn't afford books." He smiled at his mother. "She walked into a pawn shop and sold the last piece of jewelry my daddy ever bought her." Loretta wiped a tear away. "I would have done it 1,000 times." Marcus nodded. "I know." Vanessa looked impatient. "Can we please stop making speeches?" Marcus slowly turned. "You really don't get it." "What don't I get?" "Without her," he pointed toward Loretta, "there wouldn't even be a me standing here." Vanessa folded her arms tighter. "I respect what she did." No, you don't. I do. You respect success. You don't respect sacrifice. A wave of murmurs spread through the ballroom. Vanessa's maid of honor leaned over. Vanessa. Maybe just let her stay. Vanessa shot her a look. You stay out of this. The maid of honor immediately looked away. Loretta walked toward Vanessa. Her voice remained gentle. Baby, I know you don't know me, but I love my son. I came to celebrate both of y'all. Vanessa took a small step back. I don't need a speech. I need you to leave. Loretta's face fell. I brought a gift. I don't want it. Marcus looked shocked. Vanessa. What? I don't. She pointed toward the gift. It probably came from a discount store anyway. Gasps filled the ballroom. Marcus couldn't believe his ears. Loretta quietly held the box closer to her chest. It wasn't expensive. I know. I just wanted him to have something that belonged to his father. Marcus froze. My father's watch? Loretta nodded. I kept it safe all these years. I thought today was the right day. Marcus swallowed hard. Before he could answer, Vanessa reached over, took the gift from Loretta's hands, and dropped it onto a nearby table. It can wait. Marcus' voice hardened. Pick it up. She looked confused. What? I said. His jaw clenched. Pick up. No. The room held its breath. Marcus had never looked at Vanessa that way before. Harold quickly stepped between them. Everyone needs to calm down. Marcus didn't take his eyes off Vanessa. My mother deserves an apology. Vanessa laughed. For what? For humiliating her. I didn't humiliate anybody. You called her an embarrassment. I called the situation embarrassing. Same difference. No, it's not. She raised her voice. If she cared about this family, she would have dressed better. That was the final straw. Marcus stepped back as if he'd been punched. Loretta gently touched his shoulder. Baby, it's okay. No, it ain't okay. He turned toward the guests. Does anybody else think this is okay? Silence. Nobody answered. Finally, an elderly pastor stood up. I buried your father 27 years ago. He looked at Marcus. And if James Brooks were alive today, he sighed. His heart would have been broken. The words echoed through the ballroom. Vanessa looked uncomfortable for the first time. Just then, the ballroom doors burst open. A sharply dressed man hurried inside, followed by two assistants carrying briefcases. He scanned the room. Excuse me. His voice echoed through the silence. I'm looking for Mrs. Loretta Brooks. Loretta looked confused. I'm Loretta. The man smiled with relief. Thank God. I've been trying to reach you all morning. He walked over and handed her a large sealed envelope. My name is Benjamin Harris. I'm the attorney representing your late brother, Raymond Brooks. Loretta frowned. My brother Raymond? Benjamin nodded. Yes, ma'am. I'm very sorry for your loss. Marcus looked stunned. Uncle Raymond passed? Benjamin lowered his head. 3 weeks ago. Loretta's knees nearly gave out. Oh, Lord. I didn't even know. Benjamin gently supported her arm. He made sure you would receive these documents today. She looked at the envelope. What is it? Benjamin smiled. It's your inheritance. The room fell silent. Vanessa blinked. Harold frowned. Benjamin continued. And judging from the value of Mr. Brooks' estate, he looked around the ballroom before finishing his sentence. I don't believe this wedding is going to continue the way anyone expected. Benjamin looked around the ballroom before finishing his sentence. I don't believe this wedding is going to continue the way anyone expected. The room fell into complete silence. Vanessa looked from Benjamin to Loretta, then back again. Inheritance? She asked. What inheritance? Benjamin opened the leather folder in his hands. Mrs. Loretta Brooks is the sole beneficiary of Raymond Brooks controlling shares in Brooks National Logistics, along with several commercial properties, investment accounts, and other assets. Harold frowned. Brooks National Logistics? Benjamin nodded. The company is currently valued at just over $400 million. The sound of champagne glasses slipping from nervous hands echoed through the ballroom. What? 400 million? That little old lady? Vanessa's mouth slowly fell open. No. Benjamin continued calmly. Mrs. Brooks now owns 61% of the company. Loretta blinked repeatedly. I think you've got the wrong Loretta. Benjamin smiled. I assure you, ma'am, I do not. He reached into another folder. Your brother left a personal letter. Loretta's hands trembled as she unfolded it. Benjamin stepped back. Take your time. She cleared her throat. My dearest big sister. Her voice cracked immediately. If you're reading this, then I've finally gone home. Marcus wrapped an arm around her shoulders. She continued. Everything I became started with you. People call me a self-made millionaire. They're wrong. You made me. The room grew even quieter. When Mama died, you quit college so I could stay in school. When I wanted to give up, you worked 2 jobs just to keep me dreaming. Loretta stopped reading for a second, trying to hold back tears. Marcus gently squeezed her hand. You got this, Mama. She smiled weakly before continuing. The world will probably never know your sacrifices. But I do. So everything I've built belongs to you now. Not because you need money, but because you earned every penny long before I ever made it. By the time she reached the last sentence, tears were streaming down her face. Several guests quietly wiped their own eyes. Benjamin spoke softly. Mrs. Brooks, your brother loved you very much. Loretta folded the letter against her chest. I loved him too. Across the ballroom, Vanessa suddenly stepped forward. Loretta. Her voice had completely changed. I owe you an apology. Marcus slowly turned toward her. You do. She nodded. I judged you. Loretta looked at her kindly. Yes, you did. I shouldn't have. No, you shouldn't have. Vanessa swallowed hard. I was wrong. Loretta studied her face for several seconds. Then she asked one simple question. Would you still be apologizing if that lawyer hadn't walked through those doors? Vanessa froze. Loretta waited. The silence answered for her. Harold quickly stepped in. Mrs. Brooks, I hope we can put this misunderstanding behind us. Marcus laughed. Misunderstanding? Harold forced a smile. We're family. Marcus looked him straight in the eye. No, we were about to become family. There's a difference. Harold's smile faded. Let's not make emotional decisions. Marcus nodded slowly. You're right. He reached into his pocket, pulled out his wedding ring, and stared at it for a long moment. Vanessa's breathing became shallow. Marcus. He looked at her. You know what hurts the most? She whispered. What? You never once asked my mother how she got here. You never asked if she'd eaten. You never thanked her for raising the man you claimed to love. Vanessa's eyes filled with tears. I was stressed. We've been planning this wedding for months. Marcus shook his head. No. Stress doesn't create character. It reveals it. The words landed harder than anyone expected. Vanessa reached for his hand. Please. I love you. Marcus gently stepped back. I wanted to believe that. But love doesn't humiliate somebody's mother. She began crying openly. I made one mistake. Marcus sighed. No. You made dozens. You just hid them well. The minister quietly closed his Bible. He already knew where this was going. Vanessa's bridesmaids looked at one another nervously. One of them whispered, She's losing him. Marcus turned toward the guests. I owe everybody here an apology. You came to celebrate a marriage. But today I learned something. He looked at Loretta. A beautiful wedding can't fix an ugly heart. The room erupted into murmurs. Vanessa dropped to tears. Please don't do this. I'll change. I promise. Loretta gently touched Marcus' shoulder. Baby, only you can make this decision. Marcus nodded. I already have. He carefully removed the ring from his finger, then placed it in Vanessa's trembling hand. I'm walking away. She stared at the ring. No, you can't. I can. And I am. Harold stepped forward angrily. Do you realize how embarrassing this will be? Marcus looked at him calmly. No, sir. The embarrassing part already happened. You just didn't notice. He pointed toward his mother. When you tried to throw away the greatest woman I've ever known. Harold had no response. Benjamin quietly smiled. Loretta picked up the gift box that had been pushed aside earlier. She handed it to Marcus. Open it now. He slowly untied the ribbon. Inside lay his late father's gold wristwatch. Marcus immediately recognized it. He smiled through tears. Daddy's watch. Loretta nodded. He wanted you to wear it on your wedding day. Marcus fastened it around his wrist. I guess. He looked at his mother. Today wasn't meant to be my wedding day. Loretta smiled warmly. No. It was meant to remind you who you are. The ballroom remained silent. One by one, guests began standing. Not for Vanessa. Not for the wedding. For Loretta. An elderly woman started clapping. Then another. Soon the entire ballroom filled with applause. Not because Loretta had inherited millions, but because everyone had finally seen the dignity, grace, and strength she'd carried all along. As Marcus and Loretta walked toward the doors together, Benjamin called after them. Oh, Mrs. Brooks. She turned. Yes. Your brother left one more instruction. She smiled. What now? Benjamin chuckled. He said if you ever doubted your worth. He pulled out one final envelope. I should remind you that the richest inheritance you ever gave him wasn't money. It was the example of unconditional love. Loretta closed her eyes for a moment, then whispered, Thank you, Lord. Marcus wrapped an arm around her shoulders. Where to now, Mama? She smiled. Home. Then tomorrow. We start the next chapter. Marcus laughed. I like the sound of that. As they stepped outside into the warm Atlanta sunshine, Loretta looked back only once. Not with anger, not with pride, but with peace. Some people spend their whole lives chasing wealth. Others spend their whole lives building character. On that day, everyone in the ballroom learned which one truly lasts. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more powerful family dramas, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Marcus made the right decision? Or should he have given Vanessa a second chance? Your thoughts could inspire the next story. Until next time, remember, never judge someone's worth by what they wear, because the richest hearts are often hidden behind the simplest clothes.